Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Salesforce with Megan, where I talk here about tech, Salesforce, and career growth. And for today, we have a special guest, Hammad. He is a LinkedIn coach and professional. I am beyond excited to be able to have him here. I am going to let him introduce himself. Just tell us a little about where you started your LinkedIn professional career and really what is the importance to you from personal branding.
Thank you, Megan, for having me. This is very, very exciting. Your question, if I speak about LinkedIn and how I started, I could probably eat up your whole day, right? But I see the thing is that, you need to really find something exciting in your life, regardless of how boring you could be. We spoke offline that you lived in Washington, D.C. Living in Washington, D.C. could be boring too, but you could actually find opportunities around yourself. So I'm by degree I'm an economist. So I did economics throughout my life. I worked as a development economist, but LinkedIn had always been my passion. And then I thought, like about 8-9 years ago, why people are not using LinkedIn effectively. And even though I was not using it effectively, I never needed to. But then I started learning about it. And interestingly, until now, there is no proper course available on LinkedIn. So the LinkedIn learning course that is like an hour program. It just tells you to create a LinkedIn profile. But the LinkedIn is much deeper. It's much beyond just creating your LinkedIn profile. So I started creating a course which I was coaching pro bono for years, and that actually drove me to the next level as to how do I monetize it. Now I can kind of take people more deeper into the journey and tell them more about personal branding as we sit in on that. So my own career took me to many places. I worked physically in 12 countries and traveled to many other countries and learned a lot from cultures, from various things that when you travel and you have these experiences also. So that's me. I've written 3 books so far. Ran a blog for years on career development, and career development, overarching theme, career development had always been my passion because I started my career as a salesman. And those who are familiar with South Asian economy countries, I'm from Pakistan, so India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal. These economies are very different from what we see in North America. And in North America, people start work or start experimenting with work when they're in high school, right? They go to McDonald's or Subways and they work in where we are coming from, people just study. Young people just study. They even start thinking of work when they are out of university. So it's a complete different ball game. So telling people that you should start earlier was something that I was passionate about, right? Because I started earlier. That's me. And then personal branding is what I. So how would people know you? There has to be a reason for them to recognize you. And that's why we all have names, right? We could have had numbers, right? But we have names. You're Megan, I'm Omar, and it could be David, it could be Samantha. So these names, we start our branding with these names. The next level of branding, when you start talking to people in professional lingo. So you are a SaaS expert, for instance. If you know about SaaS and you talk about SaaS, you start building that community around you. So personal branding helps build that community, and that community then becomes your spokesperson. That's why branding is quote unquote essential throughout our lives.
It's absolutely key. I agree with you. When I started in tech, I didn't have a link. I had a LinkedIn, but I didn't understand the importance of personal branding at that time. I knew that the social media platform was up and rising, and I knew that it was for professionals career-wise, but I didn't really understand the benefit of it. And I think many people go through that. I mentor a lot of people, talk to a lot of people, and I'll ask them, are you on LinkedIn? And I ask different age ranges, and all of them say like, no, not really. I'm on Facebook. Does that count? And I'm just like, no. Like, are you on a professional network where people can find you and look you up in a kind of place where it's kind of like your resume, but where you can make it, fun and you connect with people globally? This is your opportunity. What were some of the obstacles that you found when you first started LinkedIn?
Hey, LinkedIn is boring, period.
Yeah.
It's so boring, right? There's no comparison between TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing, for me. If it is so boring, why do we have 800 million people on LinkedIn, right? Because people are trying to figure out, and I was trying to figure out also,
Mm,
of course, 10 years ago, how LinkedIn could help me. But you see, at that time, LinkedIn was considered only as your resume. You use this terminology, your resume, which is no longer the case. LinkedIn is not your resume. It's your social come professional persona. It
mhm,
was the same thing for me. Uphill task to understand how it works. I never thought when I started that LinkedIn is actually a search engine. It will eventually become the best B2B tool in the world. I did not know that. I was just thinking, if I am on LinkedIn, if I have a profile, somebody will offer me a job.
yeah.
Um, I mean, we know that doesn't happen that way. You have to be strategic in why are we there and how are we spending our time on LinkedIn? Are we
Mhm,
active or not? Or do we understand the terminology being active on LinkedIn? So all that came much later when I started actually digging more deeper, try to learn. I mean, it's a book. So book is with me. I've got a book. I bought this Leader Eat Last by Simon Sinek. So I like Simon Sinek a lot. But
yeah.
I've been so busy, the book is sitting in my drawer. So if the book is sitting in my drawer, it's not coaching me anything. So you have to start learning about things. You have to dig deeper and read the book. Then only the book will help. So LinkedIn is
Mhm,
also, if you learn it, if you dig deeper, then LinkedIn will reveal the powers that LinkedIn has. So that all came late, but initially it was boring. It's still boring for a lot of people, although now we
mhm.
have videos and things going on. But people can't figure out. It's still, they cannot. 90% people don't know how LinkedIn helps.
It's just telling people about LinkedIn. It's really hard to get them on there until they fully understand like what the potential is. And I think resources such as like you provide through your book, through your webinars, through your postings, even like getting more people engaged, it's kind of like that beginner key. And I think a lot more professionals are starting to being able to get that information out there. And now I see a lot of professionals making LinkedIn fun for a change. They really dig in and hone into the personal branding where they might have their little LinkedIn banners
Yeah.
and they make it fun. They have pictures of them, they have little graphics. All right. So, another question I had for you was what are some of the most common mistakes that you see people start when they first get on LinkedIn, or maybe even they've been on the platform for a while and they're having trouble connecting?
Right. So the biggest thing is the process.
Yeah.
Your process of going on a platform, there has to be a strategy. So if you join in because everybody else is joining, there is no strategy. What is
Mhm,
your starting point and what is your end goal? And anything in between your strategy. This is how I explain strategy. So why are you on LinkedIn? So if you're on LinkedIn for job search, then you should develop a strategy based on that. If you're a freelancer, if you're selling your coaching program, if you're selling your consultancies like me, then there has to be a different strategy. So that is the base. That is the foundation, right? Why is really
mhm,
important. Why am I out there? And the other why is also very important. Why somebody would connect with me.
mhm,
So this is kind of a starting point for anyone who is on LinkedIn or wants to really enjoy the platform is to redefine your why, or at least identify your why if you can't redefine at this stage. And next is why somebody would connect with me because it's the only platform, by the way, Megan, that actually allows you to build those one-on-one relationships.
mhm.
All Instagram, Facebook, and they're good. Like you have followers, you have everything, but one-on-one professional relationship, LinkedIn. And if like we got connected through LinkedIn, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and we started communicating, and now we are talking to each other, and we have become friends. So this is how relationship building works. So that's one thing. The other thing is that people don't really understand the features LinkedIn has.
Mhm,
It has like a profile has 24 different features. Now, unless we do not optimally using those 24 features, we have a profile, but it's technically incomplete.
mhm.
The third thing is the understanding or a clear understanding that LinkedIn is not your resume. Your resume probably
Yeah.
is the most boring document you have in your life. And I said there are three most boring documents in your life. One is your birth certificate because you hardly see it. The other is your resume, and the third one is your death certificate because you don't see it.
Oh gosh.
These are three most boring documents in your life because honestly speaking, how many times we build our resume and we go back and keep reviewing it? We don't. Common
Mhm.
people don't. Only if there's a job opportunity, we have to apply, then we dig it out and we kind of brush it out. And so, but your LinkedIn is alive. It's 365, 24 hours
Yeah.
available for people to come and search. So if it is not searchable, you don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a misconception people have. They say, okay, it's our resume. No, it is not, and it is searchable. Believe me, it is searchable. And that's how recruiters search people. They use a tool called LinkedIn Recruiter, which has a very different interface to what we see on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
And they use that tool to find candidates. People like us use search bar to find content. And now that LinkedIn has started its service feature, and they've given up with LinkedIn, what do you call it, Profile Pro,
Mhm.
um, ProFinder, sorry, ProFinder, excuse me for that. ProFinder, they've dropped that. They've started a full service feature. So you can add a service feature, and people who are looking for certain services will be able to find you. Now, look at the benefit. I know I'm going a little off.
Oh no.
I think see the benefit is that now you are a Salesforce expert. If you create a persona, a profile, a branding based on that, anyone looking for a service provider can actually technically search you. Like people search me
Mhm.
as a LinkedIn coach, right? They come to my profile, they follow me, and some of them do business with me also, or gain knowledge from me. So that service feature is going to transform everything. Why?
Mhm.
Now, Fiverr, Upwork, and all these platforms, they charge a fee, 20%. LinkedIn, if I'm selling a product to you, I don't have to pay anybody anything. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
can reduce my price, which will benefit my customer, and the money directly comes to my pocket. There's no mediator in between. Now, all this is too complex for a common user to understand.
Mhm.
And that's why you need someone to coach you strategically. Okay, this is my objective. This is what I want to do. How do I do that?
I think one thing that you really touched on that's really important is thinking about why you're on the platform, who you're trying to appeal to, like what audience, what industry, and then making sure that you're also connecting with people in that industry. So, one thing I had to do and fix my resume and also my LinkedIn, of course, was depending on the role that you're applying to and the position that you're applying to, making sure that you have those keywords and showing the actions and solutions and really the results of how SOAR, it's a SOAR concept, SOAR,
Yeah,
but delivering that and really showing that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to be out there and be seen. See?
Those that are new to LinkedIn or have been on it for a while and they're not seeing the traction that they thought they would, they see other people posting and they kind of think the same thing. Oh, we'll just post, and you'll start building who you are, who you really want to be. And I think a really important factor of this is having a mentor and a coach throughout this time. And that's really what your profession, you help. You have so many pro bono things that you do, and you're out there and you're engaged and you're generally trying to help people grow in the right area. So one important question that I want to ask you is, what are the traits of a good mentor and a good coach?
You're hitting me right in the middle of my eyes. This is a great question. So I personally feel we all need a mentor because
Mhm.
and the reason, I'll just start with a small, very little story that happened to me yesterday only. So
Mhm.
I'm helping an inbound marketing expert in doing his things on LinkedIn, and in return, he's helping me with few things about in my own business. So I
Mhm.
was on a call with him. It's really important message for your viewers. I was talking to him, and he has a very well-defined niche. So for instance, in your case, SaaS professionals have a very defined niche. He is an inbound marketing expert. He has a very well-defined niche. I always thought I don't have a well-defined niche. Believe me. And I said, I mean, I've got people from everywhere in the world on my LinkedIn, and I write content and share content and stuff. I don't think I have a niche. Exactly, this is what I said. And he said, this is wrong. You are not thinking in the right direction. I said, no, this is what I always think. I said, you have a great niche. You have a niche that a lot of people don't have.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what that niche is. So you have a niche that you speak a language that is spoken by over 2 billion people in the world. That is Hindi and Urdu. That's my mother tongue. Urdu is my mother tongue, which is very similar to Hindi. And the other niche is that you have traveled in so many countries and you know the cultures. Now, he said, how many
Mm.
people in our world, like in Canada even, understand how a Nepali would react to your saying, what you say, or a Sri Lankan would react, or an Indian or a Pakistani or Bangladeshi would react. You know that. That's your niche. So do not underestimate yourself. You have a very well-defined niche, which is your expertise in the South Asian market, which is the next biggest growing market in the world. And I was amazed. Now, why I told you this story, we cannot see ourselves from 360-degree angle.
Mhm.
A mentor can, because a mentor usually is in a relationship with you on a pro bono level. So when I work as a mentor, I don't charge anything. I only charge for my coaching time.
Mm.
As a mentor, people come and people talk to me for 10, 15 minutes. I run a couple of interesting initiatives. One of it is a global initiative, career fellowship program, which devotes 1 hour every week to that initiative, in which it's 279 or 293 people until last night. 293 people at a platform, and I coach them weekly on career development, fifth course. Mentor has to be a person who could give you time. Just look for one
Mm.
trait. One trait. If a mentor can give you time, he or she is the best mentor. You could have Elon Musk as your mentor, but Elon Musk doesn't have time for you.
Yeah.
Or Gary Vee doesn't have time for you. So they could be excellent mentors, but these mentors are not for you because they don't have time for you.
Mhm.
You need to find someone who is, of course, wiser than you. Wiser means more experience in the field,
Yeah.
regardless of what field. Believe me, I'm not a technology person per se, but if a technology entrepreneur comes to me, or somebody who is in a technology career comes to me, I can, because I have got the experience. I can evaluate and coach them and guide that person. So just one trait: a mentor that can give you time is the best mentor.
Mm. I love that because you're completely right. Even though somebody might be great in their expertise level, it's really if they can devote the true time to you and mean it sincerely, and it doesn't have to be in the same industry. I used to think that, oh, I need to find a mentor in the Salesforce industry. Some of my best mentors have come from other industries, and they honestly bring some of the best expertise. And I think another area that people wonder, like, well, do I have to find somebody younger, older? What's the best thing for me? I think having mentors from different age ranges is so important. They offer such different perspectives that even though they might believe different things, their perspectives, I can take that and really hone in and create my own perspective.
Oh yeah,
And I think that's so important.
absolutely, absolutely. So younger age mentors, my two daughters are my younger age mentors. They are today's kids, right? They know
Yeah.
things that I never thought of, right? So
Yeah.
I learned from them a lot.
So, Hammad, thank you so much for being here. We really enjoyed all the insights and information that you were able to give us. It was so much fun just being able to talk to you. Do you have any insights that you would also like to provide for the audience watching today?
It's a pleasure to speak to you, and hopefully we'll have another opportunity to come and talk to your audience. Hopefully they will become my audience too. Um,
Absolutely.
now, the message is short, and the message is that if you really want to do something exciting in your life and grow,
Mhm.
and that growth is not about making more money, believe me. Money will come. Money, so don't think about money, money will come. Think like more broadly, like more a long term and a bigger picture in your life. And consider two words that have changed my life. And the first word is desire.
Mhm.
You have to have the desire to do something.
Yes.
If you have the desire to do something, you will do it. If you are very casual, you will never do it. So build that desire to do it, and you will see things will start happening around you. And the other most important word is faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the system that we have, faith in the creator. This faith drives everything. So your desire and your faith, if you combine these two things, you will never stop growing. You will grow your community, you will build your careers, you will build your businesses, you will make money, you will be loved by people. And this should be your ultimate goal in life. Desire and faith. Remember these two words. Megan, it's such a pleasure to speak to the audience that you have, the lovely people around us. I mean, they need our help, and I'm always out there to help them. I have a few things that I, of course, it's a paid services, but I provide complete LinkedIn profile optimization service. And then I have a group coaching program, which I run. It's a 4 weeks program, 1 hour, 1.5 hour every week. And I usually do one batch every month. The next one is starting on 23rd of October. And the third product is an online coaching program. So people can actually purchase an online coaching, which is a 2 hours coaching, but it actually is an advanced LinkedIn coaching program. It is not about creating your LinkedIn profile. It is about creating your social persona. It is about how do you create content. It's about what kind of content is important, and how you should build relevance and target the right community that you want to target. How do you look for job opportunities on LinkedIn? Not the conventional way, but the tips and tools and the pro stuff. And in that program, I've also done an insight to LinkedIn Recruiter. So people should know how LinkedIn Recruiter looks like when
Yes.
when a recruiter is searching for someone. What are some of the parameters a recruiter would use? So that's and the links will be provided in this video. Anybody wants to connect with me, you're more than welcome to do that. And yeah, so I'm not an expert. I'm just somebody who learns, who has the desire and who has the faith.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hammad. And I love the fact that you just kind of have so many resources available for people. Remember, everybody that is watching, you pay for what you're putting into your future. And if it's in you and it's for you, it's totally worth it at the end of the day. It makes you a better you, no matter where your career industry is or where you're going. Well, thank you again so much for being here. Absolutely loved having you on the show and talking to you. And we will see everybody in the next one. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more, and we will see everybody later. Bye.